Welcome back to Average Joe Golfer. This is the channel where I'm going to try and show what it takes to actually get good at golf. It's not particularly about me, I want to make it about all of us. I think a really good way to get some advice is actually to speak to people that have played at the highest level and also coaches as well. I think that'd be something really good I want to try and do more of on this channel, and then we can maybe try and apply what we learn from these people into our own games if we are just an average Joe golfer. So I've been lucky enough to speak with Sam Head, who is a Ladies European Tour, former player on the Ladies European Tour, now a golf coach at Bedfordshire Golf Club in England. And she's given me a lot of good pointers with regards to training and also what it's like on tour, giving me a really good insight. But enough about that, let's get into the video and over to Sam with the interview I conducted with her.
As soon as I hit the ball, my first ever ball, I knew I wanted to be a professional golfer. Played my first tournament when I was 15, which I won. Played the county, started playing the county juniors 15 after the win. Reduced my handicap to 18 in my first year, then to 9 in my second year. And turned pro when I was 22, I joined the tour. I won on the European Tour. My sister actually won first, so we were very competitive. Turned pro at the same time. However, she played for England before she turned pro. She won the county championship twice. I never won anything apart from a turkey at the Christmas medal. I was runner-up to her in the county championship. So even though I won first, I was always, I'm the younger twin. I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it, but I was always sort of in her shadow in the end. She ended up winning. We both turned pro at the same time. She won the Malaysian Open, and then on the Asian Tour, and then a year later I went on to win the Italian Open on the Ladies European Tour. Followed by another win a couple of years later, and I had a chance to get in the Solheim Cup, finished top 10 on the Order of Merit, went and ended up playing in Japan for 3 years, but it was just purely through knowing what you want. No, I think it's like anything in life, isn't it? Being an actor and travelling the world and being away from home for 6 months. I ended up being in Japan. I couldn't face the jet lag anymore. So I'd fly home, I'd be out there for 3 weeks, fly home for 2 weeks, but by the 14th day of being at home, I had just recovered from jet lag and then flew out again. Now, some people enjoy that, but that really gets quite tiresome at some point. It's about learning how to structure your weeks off without feeling guilty about not practicing. So you really do have to, but you get used to it. So the first few years you're finding your feet on your schedule. So you practice like in the winter, when the last tournament's on, you take a week off or so. But there's this massive pressure because everyone is, you know, that moment of, well, if I'm there on Christmas Day, no one else will be. But nowadays people do practice on Christmas Day. They go to the gym on Christmas Day because they want to be better than everyone else. So it's finding your own way. I don't think there's any, you can follow trends like Tiger, but you need to really find your own way and what works for you. And writing journals, writing diary, and over the years looking at stats. Keeping stats is really important. I always had a coach, but I also had a mental coach as well. So the coach I'd stay with, someone for 4 years, was probably my longest, and that was Ledbetter. And then I started with Nick Bradley, and then went to work with Peter Mitchell. I've worked with Ledbetter. I've had a couple of lessons with Sean Foley. And then I came back to Europe and worked with a guy called James Ridyard, and he was really good. Well, it's amazing the difference. I don't think I realise sometimes because I've been coached by such top coaches, you do take little bits from each. So a lot of my coaching is now from the experiences I've had from previous coaches, and doing the PGA and learning the actual technical side to the golf swing. I'm actually finding it quite hard, even though I know it, but it's more a feeling for me. I know how to make it, how to hit it round a tree. I know how to hit a high shot, a low shot, a downhill slope shot. It's now relating everything to impact factors, ball flight characteristics, and that. But being a coach is incredibly important now. But as a player, they say ignorance is bliss. I would say I'm ignorant when I was being coached. I just listened to what the coach told me and I did it. That's it. I didn't have to think about it. And as a coach now, it depends. Everyone's different. I'm a girl, so I'd rather not think about things. Or analyze. But then women and men are so different. There are some analytical golfers. There are some that just want to be told what to do. I was happy to be told what to do, and I just do it. Now I'm telling people what to do, and I have to obviously give a little bit more information. I have used it and absolutely loved it, and I really understood it. So I work on my own game. I can understand all the numbers. But the beauty of working on TRACKMAN in the winter, which is why the UK golfers and Swedes and Danish are so good, is that they can't go out and hit loads of balls, so they do and analyse their swings and use TRACKMAN and indoor facilities, which I think really help your golf. It's even more so now. I was one of the rare ones that went in the gym. I was with my partner at the time, was a massive gym goer, and he was on tour as well, so he's probably one of the first ones that was in the gym along with Tiger. And actually it helped me because I've never had an injury in golf for 15 years, and even now it's still paying off, the work I did. I think it's really important, especially things like Pilates, yoga, some light weights, a bit of cardio, just general stuff really, but a lot of strengthening strengthening your back. Over practicing obviously can cause arm injury. I have had a few of those, but that's just from over practicing. It's a tricky one, Joe. It really is, because I was quite a short, and I still am quite a short player compared to the girls now, and I decided to spend quite a few years working out in the gym to get stronger, because obviously you think that you need to be strong to hit the ball further and get the swing speed up, but actually I got shorter, so the stronger I got, the shorter I got. So it wasn't actually anything to do with my strength, it was more technique. But even then I worked with a coach who eventually said to me, Sam, I don't think you will get any longer. Whether it was my personality, I'm quite laid back, I'm not very aggressive. People always say to me, go on, hit it harder, but I swing at it. So I think a lot of the time, I think it all depends on your personality, I think. It's the only thing that's important, is impact. And if you look at someone like Dustin Johnson, who swings it, who's very bowed at the top, but when you see him coming down the line and at impact, he's in a fantastic position, and that's actually what matters. So I have a little thing at the top I go over a bit, but I hit it dead straight. That doesn't affect my swing because my impact and downswing are on plane. Yeah, and that's where when you coach someone, you can't just look at it. You can look at setup, you can look at the swing, but you need to look at it in detail. But mainly you need to look at the ball flight, because if they're hitting it really well, you don't need to change anything. I'm a bit over it. I enjoy. I don't like playing in this weather. I get a bit bored now playing golf. I like watching and helping people. I never ever thought I'd say that. I thought I'd always be the player, but there comes a time, And saying that, I'm going to enter some events this year. I'm going to qualify for the British Open, which tournament I played. It was the last one I played when I was pregnant. But again, the thing is with playing, it's not just, you don't just go and play golf. If I'm going to be working for a tournament, I'll need to prepare for probably 3 months and set a schedule for practice and gym work, and suddenly it gets expensive because then I will have a coach, or I can look at my own, but I've got enough friends who will have a look at my swing. So but I'll need to have physio. I'll be working out in the gym, I'll be doing yoga, and so it's not just I'll just go and play. You've actually got to work. Massive. And now recommend not so much the beginners, but suddenly from a 15 handicap below, I would suddenly get them with the right size grip, the shaft, the lie, the weight, getting the distances between each club. I think a lot of golfers don't realise that they can actually improve their game without even going to the range. They can improve their game by changing their equipment, and knowing their yardages, knowing a wedge yardage, so if you've got 4 wedges, having 3 different yardages with each wedge, so a 9 o'clock swing, a 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. If you've got 3 wedges, you've got 9 yardages, so you will never be short or long if you commit to that swing on when you know the number. So a laser is important, a GPS, so have both, so you know the back, but then you also know the distance to the flag, and that can change your game. And then and then like you do, go on TRACKMAN, and then you know how far you hit every club, and you have an average. That can take shots off your handicap. It really depends on the person, because there are so many factors. You can tell pretty instantly whether someone actually has a passion to improve and get better when they make an excuse that the weather's, it wasn't a very nice day. Well, unfortunately, you go out in everything. I think the journey of a pro golfer, or even just an amateur golfer, is more the consistency and the discipline of doing it all the time. It's quality practice, but you have to do it regularly.
So I mean, a load of really good insights there. I think a key takeaway for me would be the advice about the wedges. So having 3 different distances for each of your wedges, obviously then getting you 9 different distances to work with. If you can then trust your swing enough to repeat it and do it 3 different ways with each club, you have a lot of options to then hit different yardages. And I think that's maybe a key takeaway I'm going to take from it. What did you take away from that interview? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to get involved, if you're a pro or a coach and you want to get involved, then just message me privately. You can also follow me on Twitter at JoeRyan365. Come and get involved. Hopefully we can build a bit of a community here for the average Joe golfers just trying to get better at this beautiful game.